What's going on, guys? It's Joesty, doing something a little bit different today. I am going to be going over the current bikes I have in the garage and what my future plans on bikes and future plans with these bikes are. So I do have some big news. Next weekend I am picking up a new bike for the stable. I don't really want to give away too much of what it is yet. I want to surprise you guys. It's something that I have personally never had before. I will tell you, it's a naked bike. So I have had some naked bikes before, which if you guys have been around the channel long enough, you know that I did have a Yamaha MT-10. So I've had that. I've had a KTM Super Duke 1290. That was a Gen 1 Super Duke. So it's something different, something that I think you guys are really gonna like. It's gonna be a fun bike. It's a brand new one. It's a 2019 leftover, so I'm gonna be picking that up next weekend and bringing it back. I'm doing that at the same time that I'm dropping this guy off to Travis Yeager to do a boatload of mods to that bike. I'll go over that because I'm gonna be going over every bike here, but I wanted to give you guys a little heads up. There is gonna be something added to the channel here very soon. So I'll start out with the Busa on the bikes I currently have, what's done to them, what the plans are. This is a 2008 Hayabusa 1300. I mean, obviously it's highly modded. This one I picked up from my buddy AJ. It was already turboed. When I got it from him, I went ahead and painted the entire bike black, got all the powder coating done on the bike. So I did this candy apple red, which is absolutely filthy right now. Tons of brake dust and everything. This bike needs cleaned real bad, but candy apple red on the forks, the wheels, and over here on the intercooler pipe as well. All candy apple red, looks sick. I'm really happy with how this bike turned out. The turbo kit is completely custom. So there's the old snail in there. It is a Precision PTE 5858. And the oiling system for this build, if you can see that reservoir down there, is completely separate from the actual oiling system of the bike. So the turbo never gets starved at all. It is an electronic pump that basically keeps it between 15 and I think it's like 85 pounds of oil pressure. So it's never starved, completely separate. Very cool system. The intake manifold on this system is completely custom built as well. Currently it's on 10 pounds of boost. It's about to go to 12. It was tuned on 10 pounds, it was tuned on 12 pounds, and 10 pounds it made 272 at the tire, 12 pounds it made 293 at the tire. Here is the dump pipes for the wastegate and the exhaust. If you come around to the front here, you can see it's literally just, there's the turbo there, just dumps out right there, so it's like an 8-inch pipe on it. This one is running the Dunlop. This is the Dragmax, the new tire. I love this thing. It just hooks and goes. So far, my favorite drag radial I've tested. I love it a lot more than the Shinko hookup that's on the H2 right now. It feels a lot more stable. You don't need to drop the pressure near as much, and it's actually a lot lighter than the Shinko hookup that's on the H2. This one is geared with a 40 tooth and back, stock front. So it's geared pretty long. The MPS air shifter, which is a love-hate relationship, depends on if it's working that day or not. So there's that for you. It's got the PLX multi-gauge in it, which does everything from boost, oil pressure, voltage, all that all in one little gauge. It's pretty neat. A little bit loose in the mount there. PMR kill switch on the bike. But that's pretty much a general rundown of the bike. I am gonna be building this one. Right now, like I said, it's about 293 at the tire, and that's pretty much pushing what I can push on pump gas on this bike. So it's gonna go to Schnitz here soon in a few months and be dropped off for a bottom end build, trans build, intercool setup. And I'm gonna be shooting for 500 to 550 on race gas. Probably 380 to 400 on pumps, what I'm normally going to run it on unless I'm doing an event or something like that. But fantastic bike, super comfortable, by far the most comfortable bike I own. I wouldn't hesitate to do 500-600 miles in a day on this bike, no problem. I'm going to be doing some tube-up videos. I'm going to take my girlfriend out on it and scare the bejesus out of her. So look forward to that stuff, guys. On to the creme de la creme, the Ninja H2, by far my favorite bike I've ever owned. There's just nothing like it. If you've never ridden an H2, you really need to take one out. You need to try it out. It's like nothing else that there is. So this bike has the Van Diemen titanium exhaust. This is the brushed version. If you can see all those fantastic colors. I love titanium exhausts. Fantastic exhaust, sounds absolutely rowdy. It had that when I bought it. It also had the Sprint filter, and it was tuned. Last owner said it made 240 at the tire. I have not verified that, but this bike is about to go to Travis Yeager. He's doing an intercooler on it. He's doing H2R cams, and he is doing stage 3 supercharger gears. So it should be somewhere in the 300 to 310 wheel horsepower range after that stuff. So it's going to be rowdy. It does have the Adams swing arm on it with the absolutely dirty ZX14 wheel. As you can see, I have sprayed a ton of rubber from the drag strip that I need to clean up. I'll probably just take it to a detail shop and have them clean it because I really don't want to mess with it. It's got the the Shinko hookup on this one, and it's all right. I like it. It's good for drag racing. It's a heavy tire, so I've got a Q4 on order, and that should help a lot. I think I've never tried the Q4s, but Yeager told me to go ahead and go with that tire because all the big boys run it on the H2s, so I'm going to try that out. I did just change the sprocket out. We went from a 46 down to a 43 in the back. The front sprocket is still stock on this bike, which is an 18 tooth. That's going to be going to a 19 tooth with the newfound power to really eat off some of this power and make it usable so it doesn't wheelie. It's set at 6 over right now, but I may have to go over to 8 over on it. It's got little other odds and ends on it, like these little integrated turn signals there, because I don't have turn signals on the back for the Fender Laminator, which is, I don't know what brand it is, but Fender Laminator came with the bike, so I don't know what brand it is. But if you haven't seen the paint on these bikes, it's fantastic. I wish the sun was out a little bit because it looks fantastic. This one is ceramic coated. It's dirty right now because I haven't washed it. Oh, also a little radiator guard in there. Don't know what brand that is. Does it say? I can't really read that, but it does have a radiator guard. Fantastic bike. Brake lever guard, which is absolutely not useful at all. If this thing went down, it would snap this, like this little flimsy carbon fiber. Yeah, that'd be gone, but looks cool. And then PMR kill switch on it, so I'm legal for all the events. There's the sun. There you guys see all that flake in the paint. You don't get that from pictures usually. Yeah, it looks phenomenal. But onto the R1, the old problem child. So if you guys saw my last video at the track, you know that I went down on the R1 in the rain, and all the crash protection saved this bike. So it really didn't take that much damage. I have the frame sliders, Woodcraft engine covers, which as you can see, save the motor. This slider right here is replaceable, so I'm gonna replace that. The rear slider took some damage, and the spool took some damage, but swing arm is 100% okay. Frame is 100% okay. The clutch lever took a little bit, and the bar end took a little bit. The biggest damage being back here. Yeah, that plastic's gonna need to be replaced, but I'm getting all that stuff brand new. All that's gonna be replaced. I've got parts on the way for it. But as far as mods on this bike, I have pads on the front, which are the Versailles, I think it's like the XJ LX, I can't remember what it is. It's their race pad though, it's not the street pad. They're great, that transform the way the brakes feel on this bike. Woodcraft on this side as well. Frame slider on this side, same thing with on the back. Now the Akrapovic, this is a 3/4 system, titanium link pipe, as you can see, is turning all kinds of great colors on it. I love the way this bike sounds. It's not like so over the top of the Akrapovic, but you know that cross-plane sound is phenomenal on these bikes. I do have it all safety tied for the track because that's primarily where I was using this bike. And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. This may be leaving the stable here soon. I love this bike, but I only ride it at the track, and it's an expensive bike to have just for the track when I only do like 3 to 4 track days a year. it's just, I can't ride it for more than an hour at a time without my back hurting, my wrists hurting, my shoulders hurting. Because on this bike, you really sit way up on the bike. Like, the seat's way higher, whereas those bikes, you sit down in the bikes and you're way over on the bars. So it's phenomenal at the racetrack, but it's horrible to ride on the street. So this new bike is probably gonna replace this bike and be my track and street bike. But I'm not sold on that yet. I'm not 100%. Either way, it's getting fixed. It's getting a new tire on the back. The rear tire is getting pretty close to needing replaced. It's pretty close to those wear bars. As you can see, it's still pretty gummy from the track. But I wanted to, oh, also, fender eliminator. This is an eBay fender eliminator, and I love it because it keeps the plate nice and flush with the back. So those kind of show a little bit too much, you know what I mean? I like them a little bit more discreet. But that's pretty much where the garage sits right now. So new bike coming next week. H2 is going to Travis Yeager next week, and I'm pretty much picking the new bike up on the way to drop this one off, so I'll be coming back with that, doing a reveal video next week of what it is, and from there we are going to be doing a build on the new bike as well. So I'll have 3 builds going at once. Basically the H2 will be for the most part done when I get it back from Yeager. This one is going to be more of an overwinter build because I spent a lot of money that I wasn't planning on spending on the H2, so I'm pushing that back a little bit. This thing's super fun as it is, and I'm doing a half mile, not this weekend but the following weekend, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to put the 12-pound spring in that thing. We're going to let it eat, and I'm going to bring a couple different sprockets for the back so we can test with gearing, see what helps, hopefully get close to that 200 mark. It really just depends on weather though, and how the wind is, all that good stuff. So, oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. The people that powder coated the parts for the Busa have reached out to me and said basically, hey, we'll sponsor you on the H2. Let's powder coat some things and make them crazy. So I want to know what you guys think. Give me some ideas on color schemes on this thing. I'm thinking that front wheel, back wheel, and swing arm maybe go into this Kawasaki green, like that spring there. I think that'd look pretty cool, make it stand out. But definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think. If there's anything else on the bike you think I should powder coat, because I can do different colors or whatever, but I want to make it stand out some now that it's getting some newfound power. But as always, guys, like and subscribe. Definitely likes always help with the YouTube algorithm. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's not me riding or anything, but it's showing you what's going on the garage, what the plans are, what you guys are going to be seeing here soon. So thanks for watching. Until next time, guys. Peace.